Oh, hello. I'm eating seaweed. What are you doing? Why am I eating seaweed? I want you to think about something today. I want you to think about food as medicine. Food as something that can prevent illness, can be medicine, and to make it where you don't actually have to take those pills. Because with the medicine I learned with East Asian medicine, it's absolutely the case. What we eat is so important. It's so important. Think about it. I want you to think about this. So let's say you take a one a day Centrum, multivitamin. Yeah, it's super, super compressed. You don't even know if your body's breaking it down. And some studies have shown that your body doesn't actually break it all down because it's so compressed. It just comes out in your stool. And whenever you get sick, you take a medicine of some type. Let's say you take an antibiotic if you have a bacterial infection, which is fine. I'm not complaining about that. But then you eat 4 or 5 times a day. And you eat ice cream and McDonald's. So you're getting processed fat, sugar, not real foods in your body, and you're repeating it over and over and over again. 4 times a day. I'm not saying McDonald's 4 times a day, but if you eat junk 4 times a day, 7 days a week, that's 28 times a week that you're putting this in your body. What is going to compete against that? If you come in with acupuncture twice a week, can the acupuncture compete? Yeah, yes, I have helped people without helping their diet, but you're making it harder because your body is trying to compete, with something that you're repeatedly putting in there over and over again. That's 280 meals every 10 weeks. So, you're looking at, a lot of meals. You're looking at over 1,200 meals a year. So you're repeating something over and over again 1,200 times, and you're trying to compete with that with, you say 10 acupuncture visits is a lot. And so you try to compete with 10 or 20 acupuncture visits. Food is medicine. What we eat is medicine. This seaweed, it has lots of iodine, it has lots of vitamins and minerals. In Chinese medicine, it boosts your yin. It's cooling to inflammation and inflammatory syndromes. It can also help your kidneys. Fresh greens are good for your liver, which a lot of times stress and anxiety affect our liver. So this is stuff that is really important because what we eat is so important. And mainly it's avoiding the processed foods. I love ice cream. Do you love ice cream? I love ice cream. But I have a secret. It's actually bad for you. I know, we all know this. Think about it. You have fat, you have sugar, and you have cold. The cold makes it harder to digest. The sugar is bad for your spleen, which Chinese medicine spleens, I would say, pancreas in Western medicine, which they have a lot of similarities. Chinese medicine's like spleen and pancreas together. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. And it has all that fat too. And so you get all those things together, and it's not healthy, when instead you could be eating healthy fats. You could be eating, nuts and, extra virgin olive oil or olives themselves, these whole foods where you're also getting the nutrients without everything getting stripped out. So what I want you to start thinking when you put in your body is that food is medicine. What we eat is medicine. And if you need help, talk to somebody like me. Talk to somebody who knows about nutrition, natural nutrition, and how it affects our organs and our health. And instead of waiting until we're 60, instead of me waiting until I'm 60 and taking 24 medications that all have interactions with each other, and we're like, oh my gosh, you waited so long, then you're in trouble. Instead, start focusing now, wherever you're at in your life, on your food and on your exercise that you do on a regular basis. And all of a sudden, you're going to get medicine based on what you're doing. And I want to tell a story about this, a story that's going to hit home. So growing up, my mom did her best. She was a single mom. My dad was still around, but he was a truck driver. They were divorced, so I saw her a lot more. And she didn't know anything about diet, anything about cooking. And she had her first stroke in her late 40s. She had diabetes in her 40s. She ended up with kidney failure for the last 6 years of her life. And she took all these medicines, and all they did was they helped her to be able to live a little longer. And I remember in her last days, she passed away a couple months ago. And in her last days, she would just tell me that, I just feel so bad. I'm alive, but I don't feel good. I feel terrible all the time. I'm constantly scared. And it's so hard to see that. It's so hard to see that. And I guarantee if she knew, and she didn't know these things, if she knew that if she really focused on her diet and really focused on exercising, that a lot of these things maybe couldn't have been prevented because there was some genetic component, but they could have been pushed back. If she could have pushed back these things for a decade and not had 15 years of miserable things happen over and over again, she would have absolutely taken that. But by the time you know that, it's too late. And I remember her telling me how proud she was that I'm focusing on business, that I'm focusing on my health, that I lost weight, that I'm doing all this stuff now so that I don't get to the point that she got to where she just feels terrible. So I want you to take that story and not feel sad. Don't feel sad for me. But I do want you to apply it to your life. This week, I want you to comment below and tell me what you're going to change in your diet and your lifestyle this week. What are you going to change? For me, I'm going to have much less dessert. I'm going to start focusing on fruit as my dessert, which I've done in the past, and continue to weight lift, which I've been doing a lot now. I've been losing weight. What are you going to do? Comment below. This is so important. This is not important for, it is important for me because I like y'all, but this is important for you. This is important for you to be there for your kids and your grandkids and your great grandkids. So tell me, what are you going to do? You got this. Talk to you soon.